Welcome to my channel. This is Hot Mess and Hot Glue. My name is Lynn. Let's have some fun. So for some, I wanted to do a little more Easter decor, as you can see. However, I wanted to keep it kind of simple and each project to be as quick as possible. Just something that I could sit down, kind of mindlessly just look around at my stash, see what I had, and get to having fun. So I had this leftover wreath. I'm adding some greenery, and then I had these leftover eggs that I had painted some and stained some, and then I found this other one that was just kind of lingering around that didn't have either paint or stain, and I liked that color difference, so I decided, voila, with just some remnants and some leftovers, cute little wreath here, and it goes perfectly on a tiered tray. So for this one, it's hard to call this one a project. It's just, I got this whole set from Target. It was in their dollar spot, and I just wanted to kind of change it up a little bit. I needed the orange was just a little too bright, so I decided to go over it. I did 3 coats of Pumpkin by Waverly, and that gave it a really nice muted tone, and I really liked that. And then in addition to that, I wanted to kind of darken up the wood, so I just decided to go ahead with my baby wipe technique with some of the Antique Wax by Waverly, and I'm just doing a quick coat on all of these little raw wood edges, and it made a big difference for just such a small change, and I just thought I added a little bit of individual personality. My daughter and I were recently at Dollar Tree, and we came across this really cute little gumball machine and some really fun little confetti, and I kept telling her, oh, I really like these 2 things. I just don't know exactly what I would do with them. And she goes, well, then get them, because something will come to you. And so we picked them up, and it just kind of dawned on me one minute when she was actually in the studio with me, and we were just kind of chit-chatting, and I thought, hey, actually, why don't we try this? So I took some scrap beads that I have that are just kind of too small for my typical crafting projects, and I just decided to use those kind of as a vase filler. And then with those, I just emptied every single one of the little confetti containers, and then I'm going to just add a little bit of extra color with this Dollar Tree ribbon that I got. Now, I don't do a lot of ribbon, but I thought this one was really cute. If you don't know what you can do on some ribbon, you can kind of burn the edges a little bit, and that just kind of adds a little bit of a kind of sealed finish to the edge of that ribbon, so that it doesn't continue to fray over time. So I added a little bit of glue, and then I'm just gonna attach it again with just a little bit of glue, and it just still kind of looked like it was missing something. And again, I have some of these little like leftover cutouts from some previous projects, and this one here is the little bunny. So I just decided to put him on the little turning knob thing. Since we aren't going to actually be using it, I figured add a little element to that. Again, this is one of those projects that took way less than 5 minutes, cost very, very little. The gumball machine and the confetti I bought new, everything else I just kind of had lying around and as like leftover decor, so it was pretty fun. So I had done a really large kind of cement looking bunny in my last video, and it was a ton of fun, but I really wanted to just kind of like play around with this material a little bit more. So I'm just scooping 2 big dollops of the joint compound into my little mixing bowl, and I'm going to take Celery by Waverly, and I'm going to mix that together just to kind of give it some texture. Now, I didn't have a sponge brush on hand, like a pouncing one, like the round ones. I would have preferred to have used that because I feel like the application would have gone on better and it would have left a little bit more texture, but I used what I had. So in the end, I thought that this came out really cute. I just did a very, very like generous coat to kind of make sure that the entire foam portion of the bunny was covered. And then I thought I filmed it, but I didn't. But I dry brushed on just a little bit of white chalk paint to kind of give it that kind of pottery feel. But I'm absolutely stunned at how pretty and simple this little bunny is. Now for these 2 items, again, these were kind of some really fun little items that we found at Dollar Tree that I was like, I liked them, but I didn't know exactly what to do with them. So I decided just to kind of keep it simple and kind of back to the basics. So using Pumpkin by Waverly, I just used a small amount and a wipey, and I just kind of smeared it on almost as if you would if you were using a wood stain, or even typically the antiquing wax. Now, I had debated, I should have, because I kind of regret it now. I ended up going in with celery on the outer perimeter of like the stem here, but I feel like if I would have done a stained wood effect, it would have looked better. But so we had the big carrot, we had to have the big bunny to go with it, and again, just keeping it really, really simple. This is just one coat of ballet slipper, and then I'm just gonna put a ton of white paint all over the place. I'm gonna go back to my little trick where I like to kind of smear it out and kind of create a little bit of a wood stain. Now on camera, it didn't really capture the wood grain as well, but it does still look like a wood piece. Now, the only other detail was going to use some of these little pom-poms, and of course we got to give him a little poofy bunny tail. But just sitting here on my entryway table, I just thought these two items looked really cute. It just kind of doesn't overpower, it's kind of there, but even things still go right on top of the carrot, and the bunny's just kind of sitting there. So I was really glad that I ended up getting these, even though I didn't do much to them. I just felt like it made just a little bit more of a statement here on the entry table. Now, mid-project, I kind of was just playing around, and I wasn't sure if I was going to add this, but I wanted to show you, if you're looking for kind of a fun and unique vase decor, something to put some of your spring flowers in, Dollar Tree has this bathtub liner, and it's got this really cool texture to it, and it's extremely adhesive. So I just wrapped it around a Dollar Tree glass vase, and then I found another vase that I had in my stash, and I think this one the other one might have also come from IKEA, I think. So I just put in a couple taller Dollar Tree greenery branches just to kind of give you an idea, but I think that this was just so much fun, and it really elevated those inexpensive vases. Now, this is a really special project. This was actually gifted to me by a really good friend of mine. I had an amazing box of goodies show up at my door, and this was one of the items that was in there, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. I loved the metal, I loved everything about it, and so I just took some electrical tape, because I find that when I'm taping things that are even rounded or have any kind of curved shape to them, the electrical tape really does do a great job, and it stretches. So using some of that leftover paint that I had, that was the mixture of the joint compound and my celery, I put on some really, really, really thick coats. I was really kind of going for a bit of a stone texture. Now, when it dried, if I had to do it over again, I would have let the layers dry a little bit more completely. You really can't tell on camera, but there was some dripping. So it's almost like when you use spray paint and you go too fast and you end up with some drips on the spray paint. Well, this paint kind of did that too. You can kind of see, but in the end, I mean, I thought it came out really cute. Now, another item that she gifted me was this really cool cork ribbon. I've never seen this in any of my stores, and I was so excited to see this because I have always wanted to find it, and I've never been able to find it. So I want to say thank you so much. It was such a special goodie box. And that is it for today's video. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, I wanted to keep this very simple, very to the point. Something that you can get inspiration from. Please let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite, and I will see you guys soon. I will start posting again on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so make sure you hit the subscribe bell. Bye!